Okay, so the situation coming up here in the past, we have, like I said, the Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles could talk about a new beginning, an offer of some sort of longevity, something that is worth a long, no, not worth a long time, but it's something that's given to you or an offer extended to you in regards to a relationship that can stand test of time. Since this is a love reading, this can mean other different things for depending on the reading. But considering that this is love, there's somebody that could have offered you like some long-term commitment here. Now, the thing here is with the Page of Pentacles coming out, I have a feeling that this is also tedious and hard work. Maybe there's some adjustment stuff that was going down because we have strength that comes up here, which talks about self-control, pushing yourself through a difficult situation usually, or courage and having courage to do something. Internally, this may be that this Page of Pentacles, yeah, it's something that was going to not only require a lot of work and a lot of dedication, but it also potentially can talk about, it can also talk about like taking a step in a direction where, yeah, there's a lot to build. But there's the Ace of Pentacles here. So that means that there is a new beginning. There's a new beginning coming up. There was a new beginning anyway. The recent past. And it definitely took some courage to go out and accept this offer and make something happen with it. Okay? That's what I'm getting the sense of. Now, with the present energy here, you have the Ace of Wands. So this is an exciting new beginning, okay? And this could be that for some of you, you guys are reconnected with an ex, someone that you know. But this, Ace of Wands, this is passion, this is excitement, this is enthusiasm, this is creativity. And I really feel like for a lot of you guys, this is a new beginning. Based off of this one that off of a long-term commitment that was potentially offered in the past year, but now it's gotten to a very passionate area, a very romantic sense here. Of course, it's a new beginning, however, so it makes sense that the external energy comes up with the moon, right? Because the moon talks about uncertainty, non-clarity, obviously. It's very unclear what's going on with the moon. I mean, the moon can only illuminate so much. And even with that, it's not really the most reliable light you can have in the darkness. And I feel like this is like an unforeseen future. Or most importantly, this is a lot of confusion going on here. However, there's a lot of intense energies here because you have the King of Cups coming up with it in the internal energy. Now, the King of Cups can be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or this could be that there's somebody around you at this time that you feel very much in love with, or they are in love with you in return. So this is heavy. This is a heavy amount of love. This also could be that there's some fears that are coming up with this new beginning that makes sense with the courage that was needed in the past. I feel like this new beginning was honestly. It was something that, offered security and support and stability, but it would require strength to make that happen, right? It would require bravery to go through, a time of vulnerability like this to make it happen. That's what I'm getting the sense of. So for this whole situation, there's could be going through some darkness and some fears, going through some intense energy, but there's a loving and supportive person here that's just as vulnerable, potentially just as vulnerable in the situation. It could be like you guys both could be feeling very vulnerable, and that could be very scary because in this period, right, you've had to be strong. You had to, you not necessarily put on. I don't think anybody put. I don't think that you've put on a front. Maybe somebody else did, but there's just some energy here that was saying that they pursuing this relationship means that they have to unveil the mask. And the strength card is not talking about hiding anything or putting up a front, but it's talking about putting on a protective layer to get you through a situation, to be strong, to be brave. And I feel like with the King of Cups coming up with this and showing there's all these vulnerability cards, this is exposing a lot of the areas in which there is uncomfort and there's uncertainty. Okay, there's a lot of emotions involved in this situation. And it's really weird to say that, right? Because considering after what I just said about the moon not being about clarity, but in the way the moon shows you how unclear things really are, even with the little bit of light that's provided, and I feel. So in a sense, it's still unclear, it's still confusing, but it's intense, and it's pure. It's like raw energy in itself, in my opinion. And what you happen to go through right now is something that, is tackling a lot of the fears. And this is a new adventure with the person that you may have decided to go on this journey with. The King of Cups. Now in your future, you have the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords indicates here feeling stuck in your thoughts, not seeing an option. And this is a projected future, in my opinion, because that's how you see the future based off of how things are right now. And it doesn't mean that will happen, but right now you're not seeing there's not a lot of clarity that's being expressed or shown right now. There's no clarity here. It's all emotions, really. That's what's going on. The stability is in the past. There's a foundation pretty much in the past. Well, there's something that's starting in regards to building some sort of foundation, some sort of concrete stuff. And now this is like almost, it looks like it's the test, right? Because you've started something here with someone, you accepted an offer, you've extended an offer, and it started a new beginning with this Ace of Pentacles. A slow process, but this building process has a lot to do with the emotional aspect of, or the emotional integrity of the relationship, the backbone, the support that's there, and the constant tackling of the fears of being vulnerable with an individual. So that's why I feel like, the Eight of Swords is a projected image of the future, because the situation here does not look like you see an option for it. Obviously, right, with the situation right here with the moon and the external energy with this Ace of Wands, this is an exciting new beginning, yes, but you don't have nowhere to go. There's no clarity in regards to what is happening here, where, and everything like that, because there's a lot of tackling of fears, and it's putting you in a place of vulnerability. But with the future coming up with the Eight of Swords and the internal energy, you have death. There's something that needs to be released, okay? Or there is a releasing or a changing sort of energy here. Death is a very transformative energy, a transitional energy, because this leaves behind all past disappointments, past pains, and the moon could be like highlighting the fears that you have in regards to what you haven't let go of, right? You got a lot of major arcanas coming up in here. But with the moon coming up with next to death, I feel like it's trudging through the uncertainty, and it's relying on your intuition, being comfortable in your emotions enough to let your intuition guide you through, so that you can release what has been holding you back, or not necessarily holding you back, or release some things that may have caused a lot of this, these pains, these fears, a lot of this need for strength. Especially when it comes to emotions, right? When it comes to how you feel about someone, or feel about being vulnerable in a relationship. Whatever happened in the past that may have hurt you, that caused you to be strong in the very beginning, I feel like now it's okay to embrace this relationship. I feel like that's what death comes up for. It's embracing the relationship. It's about saying that there is a support network here, and it is scary, this relationship, putting yourself in a situation like this. But death is all about not just releasing of some old issues, but it's also rebirth. And this rebirth coming from what's being released here from the past, old fears, uncertainty, intense energies, and feeling like fearfulness, right? It's scary. Going in the dark like this, you got a scorpion, not a scorpion, that's actually a lobster and whatever going on. You have no idea what's going on in the moon. I personally would be scared going there, but it's like the fear it's like going through the fear to come out to gain the King of Pentacles, somebody that's reliable, someone that's stable, someone that will always, seek to put you and himself or herself in a situation where there is always stability and comfort. This is a family man. And you got two very good cards here to indicate a very good relationship. So someone that's loving, that's supportive, emotionally supportive, and this is someone here that shows that they're also very stable, very practical, and they are looking to build on something, and they're very much committed to this whole relationship. But it's going through the hard times, the dark times with them that builds this relationship. And I know this Ace of Wands is actually really good because this whole reading is very, very good. I know despite the Eight of Swords and Death, those two cards looking a little iffy, but actually this reading is beautiful. It talks about you guys accepting an offer, beginning something new with somebody. Of course, internally for you, it requires strength. But now it requires strength, and now utilizing the strength that you had from the past, you're going through a process of limbo. But this person's emotionally vulnerable with you, the King of Cups. And this moon is a very vulnerable energy in itself. It's asking you to utilize your intuition, and asking your partner even to utilize intuition. The King of Cups is very much in their emotions at all times, and they feel everything goes on, everything that, they have a lot going on emotionally, but they don't say it. They're very under control when it comes to their emotions. But they always know what's going on. They always can hear their subconscious because they're always open to it. And I feel like this person who is, with you and through this journey, is pretty much, I don't know if they're going through the same thing, but they have some love for you. They're going through something vulnerable with you too, and it's not a very comfortable transition usually with death coming up here, but with the moon coming up, it's, never clear, never cut and dry, right? But it's always something in regards to putting yourself in a very emotionally uncomfortable state. And the moon, that's what I feel like highlights. But this person is working on being more supportive, being emotionally available. Because how you guys come out of this is the King of Pentacles, someone that is very grounded, someone that is very stable, someone that is very supportive in regards to practicality. But they're very down to earth. They're very grounding, man. And they come out right after this. This is the rebirth of death. Tackling these fears, looking fear in the face, and tackling it. And I feel like that's what the Eight of Swords is about in the future. Potentially that you may feel like there's no other options, but it's about tackling the fear from the past, or tackling the fear from the future to be able to rebuild something for the future. Let's go ahead and take a look at your romance angels. Whoa. Wow, separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. So for some of you guys, this could be talking about the King of Cups being not with you, right? But they're going through a time of vulnerability too. Maybe they're not with you at this time. Maybe you guys have started something together, and there is a period of separation. But it's not lasting forever. That's one of the things that separation reminds us. Is that it's a period in which you guys may not be together at this time, but there is some sort of connection here, right? Or perhaps you feel this individual very strongly. You have them in your heart as you go through a difficult journey. Or for those of you that are single, this could be that you have started something, or you've made a process, or make progress, or you're making progress towards a sort of situation where it's more stable and grounding for you. And as you go through this journey, right, there's some tackling of some old fears and things like that. And your ideal partner may be the person that's helping you go through this. Maybe you're channeling a spirit guide right now. You're connecting with spirit in a very very strong way. You're you're loving yourself as you go through the moon energy, and then you meet this the physical manifestation of who it is that you've been utilizing to help you get through the dark times. I'm not saying manifest a person here, but I'm saying that you were you're in a very vulnerable place, and therefore you provided the love and the care and the compassion needed for yourself. And there could potentially be the King of Pentacles coming up for you guys in the future. Somebody, it could be me, somebody in the future, based off of dealing with these fears. But time for separation means that if you guys are in a relationship already, or even single, whoever you're channeling right now, whoever you're leaning towards for guidance, whoever you're connecting with, or whoever however you're loving yourself right now, it will come back. There's the King of Pentacles. He's real. He's the real. He's not real. The King of Pentacles, the King of Cups, sometimes can not be real. Right? He can be just an emotional. He could be, an ideal lover, the dream babe. He could be anybody that is in regards to the subconscious, while he is in the real world, the third dimension, the second dimension, or wherever which dimension that we're in. I know some people say we're in several different dimensions, but this is the real deal.